baby. What's going on, everybody? Where do I start with this thing? We're doing a first ride with, well, it's technically my second ride, with a 14-tooth front sprocket on this thing. Stock, it comes with a 13-tooth front sprocket and a 38-tooth rear sprocket. And it's relatively peppy, you know, it goes. It's just, your RPMs are fucking up there, man, cruising at like 55 and 60. So I wanted to try and keep those a little bit lower and just save a little bit of wear and tear on the motor. I know these things last forever, but still it's better to be safe than sorry. 14-tooth sprocket, how do I like it? I love it. From the video that I saw, the guy said it basically cuts the RPMs down by about 400 RPM, no matter what gear you're in. And the guy's right. I mean, it definitely cuts the RPMs down. So right about now, we're doing 45, and typically I'd be right about, that's where I would be right now with the stock gearing. So it definitely makes a hell of a difference. I'm hoping it's going to give me some better gas mileage. You know, you can slow down in first gear and lean back and just kind of blip the throttle on the front end. Will still power wheelie up, and you can still clutch up in first gear. You can clutch up in second, obviously, as you guys saw there at the beginning of that clip. So that is that. 14-tooth sprocket. Would I recommend? I'd say yeah. I think first gear feels a little longer to get to the end of it, and that's because you're adding about 3 miles an hour on top of whatever it was. So that was the first thing I wanted to really kind of talk about. Now we can go ahead and address the elephant in the room, and that is I crashed. Yeah, we finally looped it, and my God, am I hating myself for it right now. So for those of you that don't know, this is a 2009 CRF230M, as in supermoto, baby. Fun. Anywho, Honda only brought this to the US for 1 year, and it did god awful. So you'll find tons of these in like Europe, Australia, and all the other countries where these things seem to do really good, but they don't have many of them here in the US. And as you can imagine, that means parts are next to impossible to find for this thing. I'm currently riding around without a tail light too, so fun times. This thing had a Baja Designs tail light and fender eliminator, or tail tidy on it, and it looked really, really good. So tail light got completely fucked. License plate is scraped, which I think I got a license plate on here right now. Do I? I do. Okay, at least we got a plate. It may not be the right plate, but it's a plate. The license plate got scraped, and then I didn't realize until the other day, but the back tail section got a little tiny bit scraped. And so now I'm trying to source out some parts. I gotta find those items, which Baja Designs doesn't make tail light kits anymore for this thing. Gonna have to go somewhere else, get a different one. I gotta get a right back quarter panel, or right back rear panel, whatever the hell you want to call it. That's scraped. This fairing here around the headlight got scraped. Front mudguard got scraped. And then the bracket for the headlight assembly got bent up. So I think I'm just gonna say screw it and go ahead and get a new one of those. I tried bending it back, and I mean, it works, you know. It's just not completely straight. My OCD is going to kill me if I don't fix that. So those are what I'm looking for now, and I'm waiting on my oil screen filter to come in. Actually, it should be at Honda House today. It's Thursday now, so I should be able to go back up there and pick that up and do an oil change on this thing today. I wanted to do it at 6,000 miles, but unfortunately I had to wait. So we're at 6,200 miles, but I'm gonna still put down my notes. It was changed at 6. Just means the next oil change come a little bit earlier than what it needs to be. That's all right. So how did the crash happen, right? Is there a video? Yes, there's a video. Here, I'll go ahead and post it for you. Oh, there it is. Ah, damn it. Pretty simple, pretty small. You know, I was trying to be as safe as I can be. You know, I'm in an empty parking lot trying to hit the elusive dank nooner that everybody talks about. And unfortunately, one of the things I was trying to work on was shifting while in gear. I've done it on my CBR 1000 because of the quick shifter, and been able to ride wheelies out for a really long time, just kind of chasing them. And when I shifted from first to second, it just bucked the bike back enough, and I got a little nervous and took my my right foot off the rear brake, and I wasn't able to save it. And I totally could have saved it if I hadn't done that, which is another reason why I'm like so annoyed at the situation. 110% could have been salvageable if I had just jammed that fucking brake and would have brought it right back. I mean, I'm good. You know, of course, my main priority is the bike, not me. I'm good. My back and my ribs, which is really weird, really hurt on the sides, and my back is real sore. I noticed looking up and down kind of hurt a little bit as well. Ooh, big ass bug just hit my visor. So that's really the main thing. I got a little tiny bit of rash, but it's nothing like crazy. I'm gonna show you guys some cool little trails that I found. I don't think we're gonna go too far into there just because I don't want to dirty this thing up. Man, this thing rattles like hell though. After that accident, there's so much shit that I gotta fix. Second gear wheelie, little one. I got no gear on, so I'm not trying to really push it too much. But yeah guys, that really sucked. It's a learning lesson, you know. You live, you learn. You want to learn how to do shit like this, shit like that's gonna happen. And all you do is hop back on the horse and get back at it. I mean, literally the next day I went to bike night on my girl's ZX6R, stealing her gas because I ran out of gas on the old Viffer. I will say, you know what? Second gear is just a hair tougher to get it up in second gear now with that gearing. You gotta go just a smidget slower. But at the same time, it's like I couldn't get it up at 25. I had to be doing like between like 10 and 20 in order to get the front wheel up in second. And now I can actually do it as high as 25, but it's literally what just happened. That's all I can get out of it. Unless I really rev the piss out of it and lean back, which I'm not trying to do right now. But anywho, I love this gearing change. It's so quiet, so nice. So the accident happened, and it's a lesson learned. Wear your gear, do it in a closed parking lot. God forbid that had been on a road and the light had just turned green, and idiot behind me was on their cell phone looking at GPS, and I get hit, you know. So always try and be as safe as you can be. But yeah, you know, after the accident, I realized I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and stunt on this thing anymore, or I'm gonna still do wheelies on it. It's a fucking dual sport. It's like nature by law to do wheelies on these things and hop curves and take them off-roading. But in terms of like really pushing myself, I think I'm done. I don't want to have to go and run to Timbuktu and back to find a fucking nose fairing for this thing. It's going to be on back order for the next year. So with that being said, next bike is going to be either a CRF230M, CRF350L, CBR600RR 08, preferably or newer. Or who knows, maybe I'll build another 1000. Yeah, I'm done with the stunts. We'll find something else that's got more part availability. Oh, looks like somebody came over here and fixed this, because this used to be laying on the ground and it is now in the air. Somebody getting angry. All the lifted trucks and shit come back here, I bet. And they like to rub their dicks together in the forest while they clean each other's rims. That's what it is. Fuck it, let's talk about what have I done to this thing so far. So when I bought it, it was stock. Stock everything with the exception of I believe this is, I can't tell if it's a full system or slip-on, but it's got an FMF PowerCore 4 exhaust. It is jetted forward, I believe. And I think that's it. I think everything else on this thing was stock for the most part. And what have I done to it so far? Well, let's pull up here in the field and practically set this thing on its side, and I'll walk around it real quick and show you guys, because I have done a couple of things that maybe you might want to try. Off. First thing is first, let's start at the front here. What's noticeable, the little red caps here, these are fork extenders. So this basically, you take your old fork cap off, you screw this on, and it adds about 1.5 inches of lift to it, raises that front end up. I've actually taken some 3/4 diameter PVC pipe, about 3.5 inches of it, and stuck it down into the fork tubes to compress the spring. These front forks are non-adjustable, so what I've done is basically added some preload to it. I'm a bigger rider, I need a stiffer setup, and so it's most definitely helped. The front sits up, I would say, a solid, at minimum, 2 inches. You can see how bent my legs are. When I first bought this bike, I'd say my feet were right about here. I mean, this thing it sits super low for what it is. Oh, real quick, I want to cut in. This also was aftermarket. This came on here, so this tells you your hours. It also reads your RPMs, which is pretty cool. Anyways, next, we've got some handlebar risers here. These are by Anchor, same people that make these fork cap. I've also got some of their one of their other parts in the rear as well on my rear shock, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. Next, we've got a quad lock phone mount on here. The Baja Designs taillight and LED turn signals, right? That was another thing that was on there when I bought it. It was aftermarket, slowly coming back to me. What else? I've added an aftermarket clevis right here, so it's got 2 adjustments. One is stock, the other's an 1.5 inch adjustment upwards in the rear. That's what I've also got done. I've got the suspension completely tightened. I've also added an LED headlight. It had the old iridescent bulb on there. LED headlight, if you guys are thinking about it, 10 out of 10 recommend. It is a huge improvement to the old stock one. I think that's about it in terms of everything that I've done. I've got some little clip-on mirrors that are coming in the mail hopefully in the next couple of days. Woo. But yeah, this thing is gonna get the works. We're gonna pimp the shit out of this thing, and I'm just super excited to see it when it's all done. There you guys go. We got our first vlog with the new camera setup. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll be back on the VFR. I'm definitely gonna do a couple of videos on the ZX6. It's crazy. We're hitting all these cool milestones. We just hit 6,000 miles on this, 16,000 on the ZX6, and then 25 on the VFR. It just got its oil change and whatnot done, and got that all recorded. So 28,000 miles will be the next one. But I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace, baby.